Well, today's episode, we're just going to review three events. One by Oz Academy that took place on December 30th of 2021. But of course, we got the latest GCW event that took place on the 14th of January, Most Notorious. And of course, we cannot forget New Japan Strong. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay Ryder. So, let's begin with Oz Academy with See the Light, which is a 2-day event. This one is day 2 that took place on the 30th of December of 2021. It opened up with tag team action. We got, of course, the Big Apple, or other people call her the Goblin. Mei Shiruga teaming up with Momoka Hanazono, taking on Mission K4 Akino Somoka Kato. Now, this was a really fun match because Mission 4K had a little different thing that going on. Apparently, what's her name? Somoka actually did not want to tag in. She just left Akino to the gutter to deal with, with the whole mess. No, was it Akino? No, scratch that. It was Koda who had to be outside dealing with the nonsense between Mei Shiruga and, of course, Momoka. And it was so funny. Now, as you know, Mei Shiruga can be a little cute sometimes, plays that very well, but however, you know how it is. Don't play cute with the opponent. But fortunately, it did not help them in any way. Basically, Mission 4K K4 are the most aggressive group ever. And if it was, of course, Akino who picked up the victory by pinning. No, was it Akino? No, Koda who actually picked up a really huge victory when she pinned Momoka. Now, our next match, we got Ram Kaicho taking on Coyote Yonayama. It was a bit fun match, as you know. If you guys know this, Ram has a tendency to flip people off, especially her opponents. But when it comes to Yonayame, she doesn't like that. She just tries to block it off, like trying to censor. Like, are you out of your mind? But you know how Ram is, she doesn't give a damn. But the way she wins her matches, as you know, she is a high speedster, and she rolled her up really nicely to pick up a very good solid win. Next match, we have trios action. We got Misa Matsui, Miku Inoue, Kakeru Sekiguchi taking on Oz, Ozaki Gun, consisting of Sayori Inoue, Yumi Oka, and of course, the founder of Oz Academy and the leader of Ozaki Gun, Mayumi Ozaki. Now, whenever Ozaki Gun are involved, those who know or not, things normally don't go as well for their opponents, especially the opposition away from Ozaki Gun. They always have this one male dude try to help them out, whacking the opponents because they want to make sure they win. They bring in all the weapons they got, like tables, ladders, whatever they can use in order to maintain the win. And that's exactly. But there'll be a moment in time where the opposition always fights back, but not in this case. It was, of course, Sayori Inoue who actually pulled the Tiger Suplex onto Misai Matsui, allowing them to pick up a very interesting victory. Now, our next match is a championship match. We have the Oz Academy Tag Team Championship on the line. We have Rina Yamashita and, of course, the Destroyer, Hiroyo Matsumoto, taking on the champs, Izuki Aoki, Tsubasa Kura, Kuragaki, were the champions. I thought this match was great. There was some great moments in this one. I think it was, to me. I don't know if Yamashita or Matsumoto ever teamed up before, but it seems like they were getting great moments in this one. But however, it was Matsumoto that pinned um, Kuragaki in order to win the title. So they became the new champions. They were giving a little promo at the end of their post match, but however, Saruga and Momoka actually showed up. Basically, they are possibly demanding for a shot of the tag titles, even though there's no subtitles in Oz Academy, unlike there's translators who can speak up for us, but not this time. So it was very interesting, but I'm assuming that, Matsumoto and Yamashita granted the requests for a title shot. Now, our main event is the Oz Academy Openweight Championship. We have challenger Yu and the champion Maya Yukihi, who I mentioned before on the news updates, where she wants to go to AEW when if AEW are paying attention. But however, that's another conversation. As you know, Maya, she is a member of Ozaki Gun. Whenever she goes, the other members show up. This became a 4-on-1 scenario because they don't Ozaki Gun doesn't play well with others. They just don't play nice. They want to win at any cost. I mean, you put up a fantastic fight no matter how it was, but in this case, Maya somehow was able to overcome you, even though you was a big individual in this match. But Maya retained the title. Now, what I think about this show, it was okay. Um, if I have to rate this, I give it a 7. It was pretty. It was okay. I liked it, but it was okay. I felt it was alright, decent, but it's been a while since I did an Oz Academy, so that's pretty much it. But right now, I believe it's time for me to move along with GCW's Most Notorious. Okay, so we're now in GCW with Most Notorious. This is one of their latest events that took place on the 14th of January. It opened up with, of course, the seven. Well, originally it was supposed to be a six-way scramble match featuring Gringo Loco, J.J. Garrett, Ninja Mac, Dante Leon, Jimmy Lloyd, and Nate Webb. However, we had a surprise entrant where he just jumped out of nowhere into the ring, and I'm talking about the sauce, or I think, or the taco sauce, or whatever he calls himself, Alex Zane, who's one of my favorites to watch. I did not expect it. Now, in these type of matches, scramble matches, anything could go down. So, I don't know if people thought it could be Alex Zane or Ninja Mac. Who knows? Because I know Ninja Mac has won various, but I heard, if you guys recall or not, Gringo Loco has been one of the most popular wrestlers in winning scramble matches. So it makes no sense. But however, in this particular one, Gringo Loco did win the match by winning a pinning. I forgot who he pinned, but it was a good match. Next up, we have Leon Ruff, who is in fact a native of Detroit. As you know, Most Notorious took place there at Harper's or Harpos, I think that's what to call it, taking on, of course, Jordan Oliver. I think the match was pretty good. I think it was really amazing. I like how it is. Many fans were booing Jordan Oliver, even though he's the face. But however, they were rooting mostly to the hometown hero. I'm talking about Leon Ruff, and it's no one's fault. That's how the world works. But fortunately, the match ended in Jordan Oliver. He said that he had a new move that he worked on. I don't know what he called it, but it was pretty good. But he did give um, Leon Ruff the respect that he deserves because he knows this is his town, and we're all cool with the idea of that. Now, as you know, we have some legends who are from Detroit. I'm talking about Big Daddy Diesel, cool Kevin Nash. I have to say he was great, and I did not know what he was going to do. I was aware he was going to make an appearance on a GCW event, but he was just there, and then he called in another Detroit native, and you guys know this guy is. He's once member of one of the most popular tag teams in TNA. I'm talking about Alex Shelley, who's also a Detroit native, and he gave a nice heart warming speech about Kevin, about how he influenced him, coached him, all the whole thing. And of course, he did ask him the obvious question: Was he too sweet for him? The answer to that is yes. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they put him as a part of the NWO tour or something. I don't know. But however, Alex Shelley had a date with Destiny, and that date is with the zombie princess, Jimmy Jacobs. Like, this match was okay, but I did like how it was Alex Shelley who took the victory with submitting Jimmy Jacobs in this match. It was really sweet. I like it. Now, as you know, GCW fans, they hate one particular person who they feel he is not GCW material, and that is, of course, always ready Matt Cardona. And then here comes another Detroit native, and you guys know this guy. He is an ECW original, the last ECW world champion, even though Cardona says, nope, you are not the last ECW world champion. It was Ezekiel Jackson. I don't know what he's talking about, but that's not the thing that becomes weirder. He brings out the ECW World Television title. It turns out Rhino was the last one to carry that title too, which was weird. But the match was pretty awesome. But Rhino did swore he was going to split open in half Chelsea Green, which he did through a table. But however, the question is, why didn't Matt Cardona push her out of the way? He probably was thinking about himself, but it did allow for Cardona to win the match, and then he declares himself as the ECW World Television Champion. And of course, some people would say that's not a real thing, unless someone who's part of that promotion gives permission, you can use that title. Because from what I know, that title should be um, inactive. But for some odd reason, Cardona decided to bring it out. Now, our next match, we got Dark Sheik versus Tony Depp. And, I'm a big Dark Sheik fan. I love what she can do. She's pretty amazing. I love it. But, however, she has to face against Tony Depp. And the one guy we know he's talented, but he's a bit of annoying. And I think it plays out pretty well. And I know many fans possibly were behind Dark Sheik. But, fortunately, it did not end well for Dark Sheik. It ended with Tony Depp picking up a very uh, interesting victory with a pinfall. So it's like that kind of was okay. But I know I would have preferred Dark Sheik, but no. Now, when I mention ECW legends, I'm talking about guys who believe these guys are the fathers of what deathmatch wrestling was and should be, or what it was. We brought in Sabu. Yes, so Sabu was there. They were thanking for his contribution in pro wrestling. But when he was about to give his speech, he was interrupted by Atticus Cogar. That's right, guys. The one guy people hate. He believes that Sabu, he sold out and he's not the same guy that he was once before. So he wanted to beat the crap out of him, but out of nowhere, he was attacked from behind by none other than second year crew member, one of the founders, Matthew Justice. And of course, it became they were taking the fight everywhere. It was a match pretty amazing, but however, the match ended badly with, of course, even though Atticus Code could not put Matthew Justice down, he had help from those disgusting pricks from 440, and they grab Sabu, threatening him to hurt him, but it gave Atticus Cogar the win. Now, he may have gotten away with the win, but Matthew Justice made justice in his own way. He gave the moment to Sabu. He spoke highly of him, very compassionate about him. And this was not what Atticus Cogar wanted to hear. It kind of pissed him off, but it did not work. But as you know, guys like Matthew Justice, big fans of ECW, if you know you are a fan of that brand, of that product, you know that's where the roots are from. So I love what the promo did. Now, our next match, we have tag team action. We have Two Cold Scorpio and Ricky Morton. Yes, two legends taking on Busse. That's right, Ali Catch and Effie. I thought this match was great. And Ricky Morton did not want to face alley catch. He's being a gentleman. It's more like I don't want to hit a girl, but you have to. I mean, alley catch is not your typical girl you want to be nice with. She's tough. She's a bit more dangerous, but I think it was a real fun match. But how it was amazing with the whole match, and of course, it was Effie who picked up an amazing victory, allowing for Team Bussy to win. However, post match, Effie thanked legends like them, but there's one legend he will not tolerate, and that's the one person that whacked him with a guitar and cost him the Rumble match in order to become number one contender, and that is Jeff Jarrett, where he wants to face him in Chicago, which is going to be interesting. But right now, let's just wait and see what that day happens. Now, our main event was the GCW Ultraviolet Championship with Hoodfoot Mo Atlas. I mentioned him on the IWA Deep South review for both days. He's one of those guys that people love from the underground of death matches. You look at IWA Deep South, it's one of those promotions that is popular in the underground, but not much like mainstream like GCW. So it's kind of like that. I against Alex Colon. Oh man, this match was insane, completely insane. You look at Alex Colon, one of the best wrestlers right now in death matches. He is reaching to the top, and the way he ended this match, he used salt on the wounds. You cannot use it because it'll hurt you, but it did gave Hoodfoot to tap out, which would have been a big opportunity for him to win, but no, you dealing with the guy like Alex Colon, he's the one guy you don't want to mess with. Now, if I have to rate this show, I give it somewhere around maybe an 8.5. I think it was pretty interesting, but yeah, that's how I see it. But it was good. I liked it. So I think right now we should move on with New Japan Strong with Nemesis. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to review for all of you, this one is from New Japan Strong with continuation on their latest tour, Nemesis. Only 3 matches. First one is tag team action. We have the Stray Dog Army with Bateman and Mysterioso taking on Carl Fredericks and, of course, LA Dojo Young Lion, Kevin Knight. Now, this match could have gone in a different direction for me because here's the way I see it. Those who understand, young lions normally they lose their matches. That's how it's always been. However, Carl Fredericks is not a young lion. He's graduated already from that. But this one played out in a very interesting way. Kevin Knight took out a Bateman in order to give Carl Fredericks the chance to pin Mysterioso in order to win the match. I thought it was very interesting because normally, whenever there's a much experienced wrestler teaming with a young line, normally it ends with the opposing team to win, but not this time. But what I did like about this match is where the commentary, Alex Kozlov said something that it should happen. I would agree. They should have a tag team championship. He called it the Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. And I think that's a fantastic idea because we know we can't see the IWGP titles defended here in the US unless it was sanctioned by the Office of New Japan down in Japan. And why not? Even Kozlov said he's going to send a telegram to see we should make it happen. I mean, there are some good tag teams in New Japan Strong, and I would love to see that. And I'm sure there will be a tournament to determine that. I mean, we do got the Strong Openweight Championship, but that's about it. Next match, we have the debut of Dave Dutra taking on Brody King. Now, this one everybody always knows how it ends. You got Brody King, who's the most popular guy, and of course, people would say, Brody's gonna kill you. Brody's gonna kill you. And I have to say, it was very interesting, even though Dave Dutra, he does have 10 years of experience as a wrestler, but you're facing against a guy who's dangerous, all that sort of thing. And I think it played out pretty well until Brody finally put him away, showing that he is still that same monster tattoo maniac that we all love and enjoy. So that's pretty much what happens in his match. Now, our main event is Jonah versus Dave Finlay. As you know, Jonah attacked the Finn Jews not too long ago, and now Dave Finlay wants revenge. However, Jonah is determined to prove why he is the top dog in New Japan Strong. That's always been his case, what he's been trying to prove. So it's pretty amazing. Now, Dave did put up a good fight, trying to weaken him as much as possible, but unfortunately, it ended in with the tsunami by Jonah allowing himself to win. But the real question now remains, what's next for Jonah? Well, all we got to do is wait and see. So I think that's pretty much it what we got with New Japan. I think it's time for me, even though I wasn't planning on it, but I want to. It's now for some news updates. Okay, for all you NXT fans out there, you all know, if you guys don't know yet, it's now been announced for the upcoming Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is one of my favorite tournaments to watch. And on NXT, I love what they do in there. However, we already got who's going to participate. It's already been announced. Here's who they have: MSK, Jacket Time, Legado del Fantasma, obviously is Ron Mendoza and Joaquin Wild, Grizzled Young Veterans, Andre Chase, Bodie Wayward, Malik Blade, and Edris Enofi, and finally Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. Now, this is going to be a much interesting development, the way I see it. As you know, MSK are trying to get back into the game to obtain Tag Team Gold. You got Legado, who's been proving how much they've been a much solid tag team group ever. Then you got, oh yeah, I forgot the Creed brothers. Forgot about them too. Creed brothers, who are the most disciplined and well organized team ever. So basically, we got tons, and of course, the Grizzled Young Veterans trying to prove they are soon to be recognized tag team champions. But that sort of thing. So I don't know how what's gonna take place. But if I have to pick a team that most likely could get there, there's three in my opinion that are on my list right now. One is of course obvious, is MSK. The other is Legado del Fantasma or Creed Brothers. So those are the three that goes in my mind. But we'll just wait and see. Now, as you guys know, recently Rohit Raju is no longer part of Impact. It's now been reported that he will make his AEW Dark debut, or should I say, he already made his debut during AEW Dark tapings at Universal Studios in Orlando. It's still unclear when that match will be aired, but it was told that he was in the match against the captain, Sean Dean. But I'm not going to spoil if he won or lost. Some of you probably could guess it, but that's what it is. It's still unclear about Rohit Raju, where he's going to be. Is he going to be signed with AEW? Well, it's still unclear. Okay, and also I think that's about it. Now, speaking of AEW, as you guys know, Hikaru Shida, she's on her way back to Japan. If you guys are wondering why, well, if you guys know this, before AEW, she was involved in this very unique show called Maki, where she played like this princess and sort of thing. She's always been part of that show for, I don't know how long she's been in, but apparently they want to do a reboot. So right now she will be leaving to the Japan to focus on that right now. It's still no clear when she'll be back, but I do know she will be, because she is one of the most best female wrestlers in AEW, and I know many fans will love to see her. And I think the story will be like Serena Deeb will be happy saying, I got rid of her. That's one problem that I dealt with. But if Shida does come back, that's going to cause a problem for Serena Deeb. But we'll wait to that moment. Now, finally, last update. WWE took a shot on AEW about something about the gory self mutilation. If you guys don't remember, AEW did that one show on December 31st where we had, of course, Anna Jay and Tay Conti in a street fight or hardcore match, however it was. And someone from WWE representative said this and talked to Toronto Stars about what it is. This is what the statement is. If you look at the gory self mutilation that bloodied several women in December 31st event on TNT, it quickly becomes clear that these are very different businesses. We had an edgier product in the Attitude Era in a 2022 world. We don't believe that type of dangerous and brutality display is appealing to the network partners, sponsors, venues, children, or general public as a whole. This is what they said. People questioned about that match between Bun. As you guys remember, the bunny stepped on some tongue tacks and all that, and of course Anna Jay picked up the win with the barbed wire on onto Anna Jay onto the bunny. Now this is another part that says um, what Vince said when he called them out. He says, "We're hoping that they don't go on with blood and guts and gory things they have been doing, which would be bad." McMahon said in a WWE earnings back, "All I can imagine, I can't speak for TNT, but I can't imagine they put up with that." Now, this is one of those things that questions WWE. They know they want to keep the networks happy, but in their minds they question, how can TNT put up with them? Simple. Tony Khan doesn't hide anything from them. That's my general opinion because, as you know, TNT have been upset with AEW in the past with keeping the whole sting as a surprise. But I think Tony Khan must have approached this to TNT and, of course, asked them the permission to do this. Now, they're not doing this type of match every single night, every single week. I think they're picking certain days that fits in. And I think that's the general idea. Now, if Vince has a problem with it, that's fine because he doesn't believe that. He thinks we outgrew that. Yeah, congratulations, Vince. You graduated from that. So what? But if you have a problem with it, keep it to yourself. Because if you think that, oh, your opinion is going to convince fans, how can they allow this? There's children there. Well, they want to be there. That's their thing. You can't change people's minds. That's how I feel about it. I want to see matches like that in real life, but I haven't seen it yet. Until I have a general opinion, I can give it to you. But that's how it is. So basically, took a shots on that, but it's no one's fault. But everybody does have an opinion. But you know how that is. And I think that's pretty much it right now. So let's call it a night. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Before I mention anything else, I want to apologize to those. I mentioned I was going to do Global Syndicate Wrestling. Unfortunately, there was a problem with the timing from it. There was, if you guys must know, there's 2 days of that, but I will get back to that as soon as possible. I will review that. It's going to be at another time. The timing was not perfect for me one way or the other, because I did I released 2 videos in one day, but this one will be released on Sunday morning or afternoon, however it goes. But that's basically me. Now, coming up for the next one, we'll be having a 2 review episode. One's going to be Choco Pro 194, and of course, we got a review past event by Gambari Pro with the Climax 2021 second round, which I'm excited to review for all of you. And I think that's pretty much it. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.